Indeed, the Metalbon Control performs well. I expected it to be a somewhat easier control racket. For me, it doesn't seem like the round racket the brand claims it to be, but more of a hybrid shape since the weight feels a bit higher. I prefer to be able to easily send the balls, especially the slow ones, to the other side. We'll score it a 6.2. Despite being labeled as a control racket, the Metalbon Control performs well in volleys. If you add a little speed, the ball bounces off quickly. We'll score it an 8.2. In terms of wall descends, it's a racket that gives you a lot of control. You can send the ball wherever you want it to go. In terms of power, you can indeed feel the rubber, but I lack a little more strength in the stroke. We'll give it a 7.1. As for the Metalbon Control in tray hits, hooks, vipers, it's a racket that packs quite a bit of power. It could have a bit more control, but from my perspective, it's not too bad. We're going to rate it a 7.8.
The ball comes out well from the racket. The touch is good. You can feel it on the racket. We're going to give it a 7.8. In terms of the sweet spot of the racket, it's a racket that doesn't lack a substantial sweet spot.
Though it's true that when the balance is at a medium level, the sweet spot is reduced a bit and you have to hit the ball a bit high. We're going to give it a 6.9. It's a racket that handles pretty well. Yes, it's true that we have to take a slightly lower weight. With the screws, we can adjust it a little higher. We're going to rate it an 8.2. It's a racket that we would more so recommend to offensive players, since it responds quite well in offensive shots. However, it might struggle a bit more with ground strokes, so it would be more appropriate for offensive players.